So job descriptions include combing dog coats, removing of dead skin and hair with a brush, washing dogs with special product provided by the company, drying the dogs, bless you, clipping nails, dremeling, ear cleaning, ear plucking, anal gland expression, maintenance of work area, keeping it clean and organized, and along with the community bathroom and drying stations. We are a cage-free facility, so we require 1 year of job experience. So can you tell me a little bit about your past experiences with working with dogs?
Yes. So I'm glad you mentioned anal glands because, and this is how I got my allergy actually. So I was a scientist. I got my degree at Biola Davis, and so I started working in a lab actually, and we were supposed to test on dogs, finding out if certain medications would irritate the anal glands. And so I had to deal with them. We combed them as well.
Did the resolution actually solve the issue?
Can you restate the question?
Yes. So what would you do if you had a problem with somebody?
Yeah.
Bless you. And how do you resolve the situation?
Yeah. So I worked with a girl named Terry, sweet girl. One time we both reached for one of the tools, and the thing where the hands go on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she held it there and kind of looked up at me, and I was like, no. I never had feelings for her, and I pulled it away and I said, that's enough of that, Terry. I don't want any more of that. This is not a place for an office romance. And she cried, and so was the problem with me or with the other person?
It could be either one, and just how you dealt with it. So you experienced some sexual harassment in the workplace.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
And after she was offended for days and wouldn't speak to me. However, after that, I realized I was emotionally harassing, and so I went and apologized for acting so rashly. And I told her that she couldn't have me because I'm 1 year older than her.
Makes sense.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
We weren't born in the same year, and that's something that does not meet my criteria.
Yeah, it's required.
And then it was strictly platonic after that. No more reaching for the same utensils, and we did good work until I got fired.
That's a great resolution right there, Jude. Last question for you. What types of things have upset you during work, and how do you react in those situations?
Besides Terry,
Not
Yorkies.
even people.
I hate Yorkies, but
Okay.
I reserved my opinions to look beneath the horrible, gross fur, the buggy eyes, the sharp little teeth into the animal that I was helping.
What do you find?
I found that inside is a dog, just like any other dog. Some are bad, some are good. Another thing that irritated me was fluorescent light. I always say it costs a little more, but the lab should be able to get some warm light in the office to make it feel more at home, a good environment to conduct good work.
Makes sense.
However, because of budget cuts, no one ever wants to do that. So I just had to get with it. And I imagined myself being in my favorite movie, saying I was Jason Bourne. Well, no, just a movie that has an office with fluorescent lights, because often good movies have fluorescent lighting in the buildings.
Often.
And I'd put myself there. It's easier.
Like a mind space.
Mind space.
Mind palace. That's perfect. Thank you, Jude, so much for your time. You have a great day. Yeah, I'll email you.
So actually, that's how I got my allergy, was working in the lab there, and it wasn't because of the dogs. I'm not allergic to the dogs. It was a medication that they had up on the shelves, and it lingers.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of experience working with these dogs. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I saw on your resume you have some pretty good experience, but I want to know, how would you deal with a client whose dog is aggressive, and how would you speak to this client about their beloved pet without offending them? What kind of wording would you use?
First off, I'd say your pet's got a lot of hootsplah. And then there's a technique that I learned back in the day when in the lab. You grab the animal right in the middle of the abdominal and the jugular. You press it right down, and you say affart. It's I don't know, it's a phonic. But you hold them down, and you put them down like that. And with that, their jaw gets locked, and they can't bite you. So no matter how aggressive the dog is, you keep them in place.
Okay, and that's a great technique. But how do you deal with the client? What would you tell them?
With
The client once.
With little comedic remarks like that. Like, your pet's got a lot of hootsplah.
And so you use humor. Use humor.
Spiked kibble.
Okay, great. That's great. You use humor to let them know.
Yeah, my friends say I'm a funny guy, so.
Funny guy. So, next question. Describe a time where you truly messed up or made a mistake. How did you correct or learn from it?
So one of the experiences, the dog's anal gland ruptured, and it was my fault. It's because I had added an extra dose of the Triglin, and that is the surrounding damage from that is what gave me the allergy. And I messed up. I went to my boss and I thought, what story can I make up? And instead I thought, I need to tell the truth, because eventually this is gonna, one thing leads to the next, and I'm gonna get it worse later on. So I just told him straight up right there, and I got fired.
I'm sorry, that's awful. I don't mean to laugh.
That's okay.
It's awful.
You're not the first.
Wow. Okay. That's great. So describe a time where you